The FBI is looking for this man. Person? Seems to be a man. I don't know. This man is suspected of leaving behind not one, but two pipe bombs in Washington, D.C. during the events that played out at the Capitol. And we're going to learn a little bit more about those pipe bombs, some strange things about him, a man they thought might be related, and a bunch more in just a couple of minutes here. So stay with me. First things first, the FBI is offering a reward of up to $50,000 for information leading to the location, arrest, and conviction of the person or persons responsible for these two suspected pipe bombs in D.C. This is the detail outline they give. At approximately 1 o'clock, multiple law enforcement agencies received reports of a suspected pipe bomb with wires at the headquarters of the RNC. That's the Republican National Committee. Then, at 1:15, that was about 15 minutes later, according to the FBI, a second suspected pipe bomb was found at the headquarters of the DNC, the Democratic National Committee. Now, some people are looking at this and saying, hey, was this person really just out there with the other protesters and part of the whole big crowd that had made a run on the Capitol? Or were they just some sort of anarchists since they put the pipe bombs at locations at the RNC and the DNC? We don't know, and we won't know until we find this person. And when you look at this, they did a good job covering their hands. They're wearing gloves. They've got a mask on. The pandemic is helping them out there. They have a hoodie drenched over their head so you can't see their face very much. There looks to be something in this person's hand. I don't know, as they're turning the corner. It's a very blurry photo. However, DC is full of cameras, so I'm sure they have better shots than this. As for the pipe bombs, look at that. What do we see here? It's a metal tube, very traditional pipe bomb, backyard manufacturing type stuff. It has a kitchen timer attached to it. These kitchen timers, I'm looking at it, generally have a 60-minute tops on them. So if you look at the whatever you see in the cameras around an hour from where this thing was when this thing was placed, you should be able to find this person moving around even more, because that would be the tops that they could set. An hour would be the most, unless that hour triggered something else that activated the pipe bomb. But there it is. And here, this is a report from the National Explosives Task Force. This is pretty interesting. They say 12:45 is their time. They say that the USCP, the U.S. Capitol Police, found this or received reports of this suspected pipe bomb with wires at the headquarters of the RNC. At 1:15, they found the second suspected pipe bomb with similar descriptors. Then they say here, both suspected pipe bombs were constructed using a 12-inch metal pipe with end caps. Alligator clip wires were threaded through a hole in one end cap and clipped to a timer attached to the exterior of the pipe. The pipe at the RNC appeared to have been filled with an unidentified metal and an unknown powder. The pipe at the DNC was filled with steel wool and an unknown powder. Those of you who know more about this kind of stuff can certainly clear out why that would be in the comments. But these are the actual unclassified documents about the pipe bomb itself. And there's a lot of questions about this and this person. But the pipe bombs, according to CBS News, were viable. They were weird. That brings us in another direction. Could it have been related to this other arrest that happened during the Capitol event? An Alabama man was charged with possession of 11 Molotov cocktails that were found near the protest. This is a 70-year-old guy by the name of Lonnie Leroy Kaufman. He's from Falkville, Alabama. And this is his house. This is where he lives. Now, there looks to be a car in the driveway back there, and unfortunately, from Street View, you can't really see much else of what's going on at this house. It looks like a shack, man. This is very, very ramshackle in terms of the establishment where he was living. So what did they find? Here's the affidavit in support of the criminal complaint against this guy. Again, his name's Lonnie Kaufman, and he's currently in custody. They said at 6:30, a blue sedan with a female driver and a male front passenger approached law enforcement officers on 1st Street Southeast. Officers made contact with the vehicle. When officers asked the man to provide a description of the vehicle he said he was missing, the male passenger said it was a red pickup truck. The officer said, "What's your name?" He said, "Lonnie." They determined the red GMC Sierra 1500 pickup truck was registered to Lonnie L. Kaufman. The man asked the officers, had they located the bombs? So now you go, was Lonnie Kaufman responsible for these pipe bombs that were set up there too? Officers initially understood that to be a reference to the components to the destructive devices located in his truck, but later understood he was referencing the perimeter that was set up by law enforcement that had kept him from returning to his car. They found a gun in his car. They found these Molotov cocktails that were ready to go. They found all sorts of destructive stuff inside Lonnie's car, or his truck in this case. So it doesn't look like Lonnie is this guy. That doesn't look like Lonnie Kaufman. But who is, question mark, this person? Were they related to the events that were going on at the Capitol? Were they on the side of some of these protesters that stormed the Capitol? Were they simply there to sow more division and chaos by placing pipe bombs at both the RNC or the DNC? And looking at this, will we ever find out who this person is? To me, this is a big question in the center of all of this. And if it turned out this person was related to Antifa or some leftist activities, it would really change the entire debate on this. So who is the pipe bomber? And will we find out? What do you think? What do you learn from all of this? Let me know, and we'll see you real soon.